One rapper bought a $24 million diamond and stuck it right in his forehead. But wait until you see what a basketball player and his wife spent $200 million on. We're talking about money so crazy that most people can't even imagine it. Today we're finding out who spends the most insane money, NBA stars or rappers. The answer will absolutely blow your mind. Look, both basketball players and rappers make tons of money. We're talking millions and millions of dollars every single year. But here's the thing, they spend their money in completely different ways. NBA players love buying huge houses and fancy cars. Rappers, they go absolutely crazy with jewelry and private jets. Some of these purchases are so wild that you won't believe they're real. But by the end of this video, you'll discover something shocking. Which group goes broke more often? Trust me, you won't see this coming. So buckle up because we're diving into the most expensive purchases ever made and see who really wins this luxury spending battle. Let's start with houses because these aren't just normal houses, they're like mini cities. Stephen Curry, the basketball superstar, lives in a $30 million house in California. This place is huge, 18,000 square feet with 7 bedrooms. But get this, it has its own movie theater, gym, and even a full basketball court inside. Imagine shooting hoops in your living room. But rappers said, "Hold my microphone," and went even bigger. Jay-Z and Beyonce just bought a house for $200 million. That's in Malibu, California, and it's 40,000 square feet. That's bigger than most shopping malls. It sits right on the ocean and even has its own private museum inside. Can you imagine having your own museum at home? LeBron James isn't playing around either. He owns houses worth $80 million total across 3 different states. Drake owns multiple mansions too, including one he bought for $75 million that he later tried to sell for $88 million. But wait, there's an NBA player who owns something even more expensive than all these houses combined. Now let's talk about how these superstars get around, and trust me, they don't take the bus. Drake has his own personal airplane called Air Drake that cost $185 million. This isn't just any plane, it's a Boeing 767 that can fit 30 people. It has 3 bedrooms, a living room, and even a place to gamble. Flying in this thing costs $3 million every single time. That's more money than most people make in their entire lives, just for one flight. But NBA players aren't backing down. Shaq owns a $27 million private jet with his Dunkman logo painted on the side. Magic Johnson has a $40 million jet that fits 19 people. And Michael Jordan, his private jet costs $70 million and has elephant print designs with his Jumpman logo everywhere. On the ground, things get crazy too. Michael Jordan's car collection is worth over $8 million, including a $3.5 million supercar. Travis Scott has $13 million worth of cars, including a $5.2 million Bugatti. However, there's one type of purchase where rappers spend money in a way that will absolutely blow your mind. This is where things get absolutely insane. NBA players love expensive watches and chains, but rappers take jewelry to a whole different planet. LeBron James has a watch collection worth millions, including one special watch that sold for $6.5 million at an auction. That's more than most houses. But remember that diamond I mentioned at the beginning? Lil Uzi Vert, the rapper, bought a $24 million pink diamond and had it surgically implanted into his forehead. He literally turned himself into a human jewelry store. He said this one diamond cost more than all his cars combined and his house. Can you imagine going to school with a $24 million diamond in your head? Kanye West spent $850,000 on special titanium teeth that look like shark jaws. Drake owns $2 million solid gold Air Jordan shoes. That's right, shoes made of real gold. Jay-Z's jewelry collection is worth over $70 million total. NBA players buy expensive chains and championship rings that cost around $10,000 each, but that's pocket change compared to what rappers spend. Travis Scott bought a $450,000 chain shaped like his album cover. The jewelry game isn't even close, rappers win by a landslide. So you're probably wondering, who actually makes more money to afford all this crazy stuff? The top NBA players are making absolutely ridiculous amounts. Stephen Curry makes $55.8 million from playing basketball, plus another $50 million from companies like Under Armour. That's over $100 million in 1 year. LeBron James makes $48.7 million from basketball and $80 million from Nike and other deals. Top rappers make crazy money too, but it's different. Drake made over $300 million from just one tour. Jay-Z makes around $56 million per year from his music and businesses. The difference is NBA players get guaranteed money. They know exactly how much they'll make for the next few years. Rappers never know if their next song will be a hit or a flop. But here's the part that will shock you. Even though both groups make all this money, there's a huge problem. Are you ready for this? 6 out of every 10 NBA players go completely broke within 5 years after they stop playing basketball. That means more than half of these millionaires end up with $0. How is that even possible when they make so much money? How do you go from making millions to having nothing? It happens way more than you think. The average NBA player only plays for about 5 years. Imagine making all your life money in just 5 years, then having to make it last for the next 50 years of your life. Most players spend like the money will never stop coming, but it always does. Antoine Walker made $108 million playing basketball, but went completely broke. Scottie Pippen made $110 million, but also went bankrupt. Allen Iverson was saved only because Reebok put $32 million in a special account he can't touch until he's 55 years old. That's the only reason he has any money left. Rappers go broke too, and sometimes it's even worse. MC Hammer went from having $33 million to owing $13.7 million. That means he was negative $13 million. He was spending $30 million just fixing up his house while paying $500,000 to $1 million every month to his 200 employees. 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy in 2015, even though people thought he was worth $155 million. He owed $32.5 million to different people and couldn't pay it back. Both NBA players and rappers make the same mistake. They spend today like tomorrow's money is guaranteed. But some are super smart with their money. Michael Jordan is now worth $3.5 billion. That's with a B. He makes more money now from Nike's Jordan brand than he ever made playing basketball. Magic Johnson is worth $1.2 billion by buying businesses like Starbucks stores and movie theaters. Jay-Z became worth $2.5 billion by starting companies and then selling them for huge profits. Dr. Dre sold his Beats headphones company to Apple for $3 billion. The secret? They don't just spend money, they use money to make more money. They buy businesses, not just toys. So who spends more on luxury? Rappers win for the craziest single purchases, like that $24 million forehead diamond. But NBA players spend more overall on houses and cars. The real winners? The ones who learn to invest. What would you buy first with $100 million? Let me know below and subscribe for more.